Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. I'm François Picard. 3 decades ago, our guest was a military ruler, but that was then, and this is now. Today, he is the first Nigerian president to unseat his predecessor at the ballot box, one of his first official visits right here to Paris, Muhammadu Buhari. Many thanks for speaking with us here on France 24.
Thank you very much.
You've said your top priority is security. What came out of your meetings with your French counterpart, François Hollande, when it came to Boko Haram, and of course those Chibok students that have sparked that worldwide Bring Back Our Girls campaign?
Well, France has been in a very strong position to know our problems in that region. The Lake Chad Basin Commission, comprising of Cameroon's, Chad, Niger, Nigeria, and Benin. The first thing is to identify virtually the base. Nigeria used to be the base of Boko Haram until Niger and Chad, with French encouragement, decided to come into Nigeria, get into Nigeria, attacked and dislodged the Boko Haram from Nigerian soil, and then occupy the place until the Nigerian troops were able to eventually go and replace them. The reorganization we carried out in the military, the results are being seen both at war front and in the neighboring countries. And we moved the tactical headquarters from Abuja to Maiduguri, which is the capital of Borno State. And I think there is progress being done. And our main concern now is how can we recover the Chibok girls, in what condition they are. We are very occupied with that decision. And at this stage, it has to be kept confidential, because we are not sure of the genuine leadership of Boko Haram that we can negotiate with to get those girls released.
That is one of the questions that will follow after military gains, is at what point do you negotiate?
Well, it's becoming quite difficult, because we have to first identify those who claim to be leaders of Boko Haram are actually leaders, and they are influential. And they know where the girls are, and they know which condition they are in. So just for any Boko Haram member to come and contact the government and say that he's a leader and that he can get the girls released, we are being very careful about it.
You mentioned all the neighboring Francophone countries. There's the French who are deployed, obviously, in Mali, in Chad. Do you feel, this is one of your first official visits, you're in Paris, you've had a lot of contact with François Hollande on this. When it comes to Boko Haram, the French perhaps more hands-on than some of your other Western allies?
Certainly, for two reasons, I think. Firstly, because the French, Nigeria is totally surrounded by former French colonial countries. And France has maintained a strong relationship with these former French colonies. So Nigeria get security and economic advantage by France being still in charge in those countries. Even the deployment of French troops in Mali, in Niger, and in Chad is giving us the necessary intelligence and the training and the equipment.
Boko Haram able to fester in an area that's always been a bit forgotten, the northeast of the country, the poorest. What do you do to restore faith in government for the people of that area?
Well, one of the things that we have to do is there is a study which was initiated virtually as long ago as 1925, when a professor in the London University lectured that if some of the rivers from Central African Republic are not diverted to empty into Chad Basin, Lake Chad will dry up. We have seen the seriousness of that. It affects farming, fishing, rearing of cattle, and if that project is executed, at least 2 million Nigerians stand to benefit. And I believe in Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, another at least 1 million people will benefit. So that's one of the major things that the Lake Chad Basin Commission can ask G7, in this case led by France, for that projects to be executed so that at least 3 to 5 million people can be settled.
We're going to turn our attention from the Northeast to the capital, Abuja. It's been 4 months. You don't have a government yet. When are we going to have the naming of a cabinet?
Yes. It's good you say when we have a cabinet. We have a government, but we don't have a cabinet. I don't know how you define that, but that's what we are having. We have a government, and that's why I'm here. As for the cabinet, I said we'll have one by the end of the month. And time flies. The end of the month is coming
You'll be sticking
too quickly for my liking.
But will you be sticking to it?
Yeah, I will stick to it. I will send the names to the constitutional ministers and some important appointments. I have to send it to the National Assembly.
Some have quipped that the country runs better without ministers.
Well, when you started introducing me, you said I was around 1983 to 85. Even then we had ministers. So under this system, we have to have ministers, and we are going to have ministers.
Are markets being a bit spooked by the fact that they don't have right now a finance minister? We've seen on the bond market this volatility right now when it comes to Nigeria. Is the delay starting to hurt a bit?
No, it's what we know and which we learn from the Western system. The civil service provides the continuity, the technocrats, and in any case, they are the ones that do most of the work. The ministers are there, I think, to make a lot of noise. I think politicians will make a lot of noise. But the work is being done by technocrats. They are there, and they provide the continuity. If you can see my team, you will see that there are farm sector, finance, trade, industries, and others. They have to provide the continuity, dig into the records for as long as possible, and then guide us, because we are just coming into government. But they have been there, some of them for 15 years, some for 20 years. So I think this question of ministers is political. People from different constituencies, they want to see their people directly in government and see what they can get out of it.
When you do have a cabinet, you're going to be dealing, or you're already dealing, of course, with a price of oil that's been divided by 2. Will one of the first measures be to devalue the naira?
The dollar, or the naira, has been devalued. It used to be around 160. Now it is hovering around 200 and above. And I don't think it is healthy for us to get the naira devalued further. That's why we are getting the central bank to make some modifications in terms of making foreign exchange available to essential services, industries, spare parts, essential raw materials, and so on. But things like toothpick and rice, Nigeria can produce enough of those. We don't need to give a hard currency for that. But those who insist on having toothpick from Europe or from China, instead of having Nigerian toothpick, they can they can go and source the foreign exchange and buy it.
Mr. President, you're back at the presidential palace after 3 decades later. Is it the same place?
No, it wasn't the same place. I think the last time I was there, I think I was in barracks. This time I'm in a palace, and I still need a map and a compass to find my way. It's so big and it must be very, very expensive to maintain. But it is there. It cannot be removed.
A different setting? Are you a different man?
I don't think basically I'm a different man, but I'm coming back under a different system.
A better one?
Yes, a better one reluctantly because this is what works. And I said it so often. I was convinced as far back as 1991 when the Soviet Union collapsed. As I kept on saying, an empire in the 20th century collapsed without a shot being fired, literally. People went home, and now there are 18 republics. That's why I believe firmly that multi-party democratic system is the best form of governance, with the big caveat that elections must be free, fair, and credible. Otherwise, it's the same old problem.
Muhammadu Buhari, many thanks for speaking with us, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us here in the France 24 interview.